Welcome to Catholic News World.
Welcome to Catholic News World. Please subscribe to our channel. My name is Steph. Here are this week's breaking news headlines.
Buongiorno, ringrazio tanto questa compagnia vostra.
Pope Francis landed in Luxembourg on Thursday, September 26th, to begin his 46th apostolic journey abroad, after starting his day by meeting at his Vatican residence with 10 homeless people who sleep near St. Peter's Square. The papal plane departed from Rome's Fiumicino airport at 8:29 a.m. on Thursday, carrying Pope Francis, his entourage, and dozens of journalists covering his apostolic journey to Luxembourg and Belgium. The Holy Father's plane landed at Luxembourg Airport at 9:56 a.m. The country of Luxembourg has an area of 999 square miles and a population of about 672,000. Catholics in the Archdiocese, currently headed by Cardinal Jean-Claude Hollerich, make up approximately 67% of its population, followed by Protestants, 5%. The Lutheran and Calvinist churches are the largest of the 5% Protestant denominations. On arrival in the Grand Duchy of Luxembourg on Thursday, in the morning, Pope Francis encouraged local government authorities to uphold its long-standing commitment to peace and to building a united and fraternal Europe amid war looming on the continent. Luxembourg's historic role in promoting peace and unity in Europe, addressing authorities, civil society, and the diplomatic corps in his first speech in the Grand Duchy at the Cercle Cité Palace, the Pope recalled Luxembourg's crucial role in promoting peace and unity in Europe after the ravages of World War II, as a founding member of the European Union. Pope Francis explained, "It must also be recognized that when logics of conflict and violent opposition prevail, the places that are located on the border between conflicting powers end up being, in spite of themselves, heavily involved. When, however, spirits finally rediscover ways of wisdom and replace opposition with cooperation, then these same places become the most suitable to indicate, not only symbolically, the needs of a new era of peace and the paths to follow." The final event of the first part of the Pope's 46th apostolic journey abroad in Luxembourg. Pope Francis addressed a gathering of Luxembourg's Catholic community. The event coincided with a Marian Jubilee, marking 4 centuries of devotion to Mary, consoler of the afflicted. Speaking to the faithful gathered in Luxembourg's Notre Dame Cathedral, Pope Francis focused on 3 key themes: service, mission, and joy. Here then, beyond the difficulties, is the living dynamism of the Holy Spirit that acts in us. Love pushes us to announce the gospel by opening ourselves to others, and the challenge of the announcement makes us grow as a community, helping us to overcome the fear of taking new paths and pushing us to gratefully welcome everyone's contribution. It is a beautiful, healthy, joyful dynamic that will do us good to cultivate in us and around us. Dear sisters, dear brothers, the mission that the Lord entrusts to us is beautiful, to console and serve, following the example and with the help of Mary. Thank you, consecrated men and women, for the work you do, seminarians, priests, everyone, and also for the generous help that you wanted to share with those in need. Where there is a needy person, there is Christ. I bless you and pray for you, and you too, please, pray for me. Thank you. Pope Francis arrived in Belgium on Thursday evening to start his 3-day apostolic visit. A 55-minute flight from Luxembourg brought Pope Francis to Brussels. He paid a courtesy visit to King Leopold Lodewijk Maria and to Queen Mathilde Eudecum Akaz at Laeken Castle on Friday morning. Before meeting with authorities and representatives of civil society, Pope Francis noted Belgium's place in the center of Europe as he meets with the country's civil authorities and denounces clerical sexual abuse as the Church's shame. During his address, Pope Francis praised Belgium as a bridge between the continent and the British Isles, between the Germanic and French-speaking regions, between southern and northern Europe. Belgium is a bridge enabling concord to spread and disputes to abate. Europe needs the country, he continued, to remind it of its history of peoples and cultures, cathedrals and universities, but also of darker periods of war, colonialism, and exploitation. The Pope said, The Catholic Church wants to be a presence that, bearing witness to its faith in the risen Christ, offers people, families, societies, and nations an ancient and ever-new hope. A presence that helps everyone to face challenges and trials without facile enthusiasm or dark pessimism, but with the certainty that the human being, loved by God, has an eternal vocation of peace and goodness and is not destined for dissolution and nothingness. Speaking about abuse in the Church, Pope Francis said, "In the Church, we must ask forgiveness for this. The others ask forgiveness for their part. This is our shame and our humiliation." On the second day of his apostolic journey to Belgium on Friday, September 27th, Pope Francis traveled from Brussels to Louvain to meet with the European Union nations' university professors. The meeting was at the Catholic University of Louvain, which is celebrating its 600th anniversary this year. Pope Francis, in his speech to the University of Louvain, said, in particular, Catholic universities, like this one, are called to bring the decisive contribution of the leaven, salt, and light of the gospel of Jesus Christ and of the living tradition of the Church, always open to new scenarios and new proposals. Dear professors, against the weariness of the spirit and soulless rationalism, let us also learn to pray like Jabez. Lord, broaden our boundaries. Let us ask that God bless our work in the service of a culture capable of facing today's challenges. The Holy Spirit that we have received as a gift pushes us to seek, to open the spaces of our thinking and our acting until He leads us to the whole truth. We are aware, as the rector told us at the beginning, that we do not yet know everything. But at the same time, it is precisely this limit that must always push you forward, help you to keep the flame of research alight, and to remain an open window to today's world. At the end of the first full day of his apostolic visit to Belgium, Pope Francis met with 17 survivors of abuse perpetrated by members of the clergy in Belgium. A statement issued by the Holy See press office via telegram on Friday, September 27th evening, noted that the meeting took place after his return to the Apostolic Nunciature, where he is staying in Brussels. The encounter, which lasted over 2 hours, provided the victims an opportunity to share their personal stories and suffering with the Holy Father, as well as to express their hopes for the Church's continued efforts in combating the scourge of abuse, it said. The Holy See press office also said that Pope Francis listened attentively to their experiences, offering his closeness to their pain. He expressed deep gratitude for their courage and voiced his profound sense of shame for the abuses they endured as children at the hands of priests who were meant to protect them, the statement added. Concluding, it revealed that the Holy Father also took note of the requests they presented for further study. Israel's airstrikes in Lebanon have led to over 700 deaths, including at least 50 children and 94 women, the Lebanese health ministry said. Catholic Maronite Patriarch Cardinal Bashara Boutros al-Rahi called for an immediate ceasefire. During the general audience, the Pope launched an appeal for peace in the Middle East in the wake of attacks in Lebanon. I am pained by the news coming from Lebanon, where in the last few days, heavy bombardments have caused many casualties and destruction. I hope that the international community will make every effort to end this terrible escalation. It is unacceptable. Churches have begun to shelter people escaping violence as death toll from Israeli attacks climbs in Lebanon. Christian churches in the country are sheltering people escaping violence. People are now living in church halls, so they will need food, sanitary products, mattresses, blankets, and if it continues, we will need heating for winter, though of course, we hope it will not last that long, said Mariel Boutros, project coordinator in Lebanon for the pontifical charity Aid to the Church in Need. Cardinal Pier Battista Pizzaballa, Latin Patriarch of Jerusalem, has asked all the faithful to join in prayer and fasting for peace. He wrote, "Dear brothers and sisters, may the Lord give you peace. The month of October is approaching, and with it the realization that for the past year, the Holy Land, and not only, has been plunged into a vortex of violence and hatred never seen or experienced before. The intensity and impact of the tragedies we have witnessed in the past 12 months have deeply lacerated our conscience and our sense of humanity. Violence, which has caused and is causing thousands of innocent victims, has also found its way into political and social language and actions. In recent months, we have already spoken out clearly about what is happening and have repeatedly reiterated our condemnation of this senseless war and what has generated it, calling on everyone to stop this drift of violence and to have the courage to find other ways of resolving the current conflict, which take into account the demands of justice, dignity, and security for all. We can only call once again on those in authority and those who bear the grave responsibility of making decisions in this context to a commitment to justice and respect for every person's right to freedom, dignity, and peace. We too have a duty to commit ourselves to peace, first by preserving our hearts from all feelings of hatred and instead cherishing the desire for good for everyone. By committing ourselves, each in our own community contexts and in the forms we can, we should support those in need, help those who are personally invested to alleviate the suffering of those affected by this war, and promote every action of peace, reconciliation, and encounter. Yet, we also need to pray, to bring our pain and our desire for peace to God. We need to convert, to do penance, and to implore forgiveness. Therefore, I invite you to a day of prayer, fasting, and penance on October 7th next, a date that has become symbolic of the drama we are experiencing. May each of us, with the rosary, or in whatever form he or she sees fit, personally but better again in community, find a moment to pause and pray, and bring to the merciful Father and God of all consolation our desire for peace and reconciliation. Sincerely in Christ, Pier Battista Cardinal Pizzaballa.
Thanks for watching, and please subscribe to Catholic News World's channel. God bless.